Well, that went quicker than it normally does. Um,
Look at us on time.
not only just on time, but the fact that it like went like that instead of me, sitting here for 5 seconds while
Staring at the camera, waiting for it to start.
and you're like, what's happening? So let's see. Good games that happened this weekend. Can we talk about Vanderbilt for a second?
People, wait, people are allowed to play good football.
Yes. We weren't invited to that party.
Oh, must be nice.
Honestly, I'm not as mad now as I was right after the game.
I was pretty much numb for the final 35 minutes of game time Saturday. Really was just sort of dumbfounded at how awful we really were.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like it's one thing to lose. At least you guys were respectable, right? We just got pushed around. It really looked like a varsity versus a JV team.
At this point, a lot of Aggie Twitter is like, if we lose to Florida, guys, I don't know what to tell you.
And you guys are going to lose, right? Like that we're going to be like 4-8 at the end of the year. You guys are going to be like 8-4, and you're going to look back and you're going to be like, man, if only we hadn't lost one of these games, we'd be in playoff contention right now. And then you go and look, and you're like, oh, we lost to Florida in September, and fast forward to December, and now we are not in the playoffs because that shitty Florida team beat us.
He's so sure of himself.
Hey, I again, crazy things happen. It's the year of the cicada. We are back. It is going to be chaos, and that's going to be your punishment for the year of the cicada. Is you have to give up one win to the Florida Gators.
My punishment?
Yeah, your sacrifice. We all have to make sacrifices, Shelby.
Oh my god. Okay. If that was what makes your heart happy, then I'll let you believe that. Whatever floats your goat. Okay. I watched the end of the Vanderbilt game and I really felt like a proud mom. Like, look, my worst son did a thing. Like, we were like, no, Vanderbilt's not going to win this. And I like pulled up my phone and looked at the score and I was like, oh, they're not losing horribly. Like, I was prepared for them to be on the losing side of a blowout. That's what I was prepared for.
See, I picked them. I picked them to win.
I know you did, but I always prepare myself for them to lose. That's what I do for A&M too. And yet I'm still angry, so it's fine. Honestly, like I watched the pulse video that A&M makes for every game, and the fact that Connor got sick in the third quarter or whatever, it's weird because he looked fine, at least video wise, pregame and halftime. So I'm like, what changed between halftime and the end of the third quarter? Like, are you
uh,
okay, friend?
Sometimes you gotta make it interesting.
Gotta puke. It's
Yeah.
fine. On national television. And the fact that they just continued to zoom in on him while
There,
he was puking.
yeah, they did that when Utah came to the Swamp a couple years ago. One of their players puked, and they replayed it about 25 times. And it's like, okay, we get it. Yes, we see the red Gatorade.
It wasn't that bad, but it was not good. Let's see who else was exciting. LSU lost. Love to see that. You love to see it.
It was tough. It was tough having to watch one of those teams win.
That's true. Honestly, I just don't like LSU, so I'm okay with them losing. Sorry, Sydney.
Yeah, I can't believe Sydney likes LSU.
Well, she works for them, so
It's no excuse.
it's no excuse. That's why she's not here, guys, because she can't mingle with the commoners now that she's a 1-0
Yeah,
team.
she's too good for us. Little Miss Undefeated.
I
Oh
played a
wow.
JV football team, but it's fine.
Yeah, Connor Wegman did really poorly.
He did.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
I'm
it's
just looking
quick,
through the box score of this
by the
game,
way.
and it's pretty rough, pretty bad.
Yeah. We're hoping that it gets better. If not, we have two other quarterbacks chilling on the bench, ready to go. And I'm hoping Elko's not trigger shy. Like if we need a new quarterback coach, let it happen. It's gonna be fine.
Give it up on Wegman that fast, huh?
No, I'm saying if we need to, I hope that coach is not gonna be like, well, we have to stick with our quarterback that we started with, kind of thing. I don't think that. I think that was his worst showing, and it's only up from here.
I mean, that line of thinking kind of worked for Anthony Richardson in 2022. You know, his Kentucky game was the worst game I've ever seen a quarterback play. But then after that, you know, he actually was kind of okay. So maybe Wegman can have a similar trajectory and turn it around.
That's what I'm hoping.
I thought he was going to be a baller. I don't know. I don't know shit. Obviously, I thought Cade Klubnik and Connor Wegman were going to be really good quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, here we are.
Yeah, it turns out that was a fucking lie.
You've been lied to. It's okay. All the A&M fans have been lied to too. It's okay.
Oh, trust me, we know how it feels to be lied to.
I was not expecting Clemson to really shit the bed, like at all. Like I knew Georgia was going to win that game, but damn.
Yeah, I thought Clemson would cover. I didn't think that they would necessarily win, but I thought again, year two in Garrett Riley's system, Kate Klubnik, second year as a full time starter, ready to kind of take the reins and make something happen. And when I was watching that game, it was just very obvious that he does not have a strong enough arm to make the throws that he thinks that he can. It kind of reminds me of like when I go from playing with like a good team in CFB 25 to playing with like a 1-star rebuild. And I think that I can like throw the ball into these really tight windows or like throw it like 60 yards, but then my quarterback is just awful and it just floats up and it goes like 35 yards. And you're like, oh, okay, that's what happens when you don't actually have a good arm. That's how it feels every time I watch Kate Klubnik throw the ball.
You think you can do these things, but you just can't.
Yes, exactly. It's like DJ Uyunglele and throwing an accurate pass.
Oh no. Poor Florida State.
Oh, please miss me with that.
Oh goodness. You have to at least feel bad for some of the athletes
Nope.
that chose to go there.
Nope. Don't feel bad for a single one of them. You wanted to go play with a bunch of sissies in a sissy conference. You didn't want to face real competition. This is what happens. It eventually catches up to you. I don't know. I think it's a pretty interesting case study for the early transfer portal era because, you know, Mike Norvell got off to a pretty bad start. And, you know, you had the Travis Hunter stuff where he flips on signing day. And, you know, he was really the only recruit that Norvell had committed that was any sort of game changer, you know? And, but then they sort of hit that, you know, they get kind of throw it in reverse. They hit the portal really hard. Both, you know, 2022 and 2023 really revamped their roster. And then for me, I know I'm biased, but I was very confused by all the FSU hype all off season because of how much they lost. Like they lost most of their offense. Period. They lost a lot of their defense. So it's like Jordan Travis was clearly the secret sauce to making all of that work, being able to scramble around and improvise. And I mean, you saw it when he went down that clearly they were not anywhere close to a top 5 team without Jordan Travis. And so all offseason, all you heard was about how, they have the best D line in the country. Azaria Thomas is a first round pick, all these things. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it? I mean, I think they're still waking up from the ass beating Georgia gave them, but it's only been 9 months. Maybe they'll wake up with a litter of puppies.
All I know is that I saw on Twitter this morning a video of a Georgia fan on a leash barking at a Clemson fan, and someone
Yeah,
said
I
this
saw
is
that.
weirder than anything A&M does. I was like, you're not wrong. That's weird. Sorry, guys, that's weird. Grown men should not bark at people. It's weird. And I feel like I have the trajectory to say what's weird because my team's pretty weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's really ever a scenario where a grown man should bark at anybody.
The answer is no. Let's see. All right, let's look at our week 2 schedule. Arky and Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Sydney.
Only because Sydney didn't join our show. So now I'm going to pick against her team, which obviously means they're going to win.
Hey, she'd be excited. Because I don't think Arkansas, it's been a while since, I think Texas was the last time Arkansas really had a big win that I can remember. I don't know.
I'm sad. I wanted to make a self-deprecating joke, but watching Arkansas come to the swamp and get their only SEC win last year, that one was a big one to me, Shelby.
It hurt.
It did a lot more than you know.
Oh, trust me. Arkansas fans are really good at acting like they have just won a championship when they beat you for the first time in like 10 years.
See, I don't know if it's just because there's not really any bad blood or if I don't know if they had just kind of checked out for the season, but I mean, I felt like most of the Arkansas fans were pretty friendly and pleasant to be around. They were definitely a lot more fun to be around leaving the swamp than Mississippi State and South Carolina fans whenever I've interacted with them following a loss in the swamp. So I'll give them that. I don't know. Maybe they just really hate Texas A&M.
That's possible. It also helps that it's always at the beginning of the season. So like you have a lot of hope when you win that SEC game in like September. And you're like, this is going to be great. And then it's not. Been there, done that. Also, I've only like talked to like maybe 7 South Carolina fans in my life, but most of them were like sure that their team was going to lose last time I went to South Carolina. So,
I feel like whenever I interact with like South Carolina or let me think here, Mississippi State, there's some of the bottom dwellers in the SEC. Whenever I've ever actually interacted with their fans in person, they all have that same thing to where they're just like, oh, we know y'all are going to beat the brakes off of us, but whatever, we're going to enjoy the game. And then both online or if they win, they act like it was just always expected and just like that's what they knew was going to happen. And it's like, my guy, none of your fans ever actually show their faces around other fans because you're embarrassed. But then when something good happens, you come out of the woodworks.
So if they're like, if Miami had football fans, then
Exactly.
let's see. Texas and Michigan.
I'm excited for this. I'm excited to have a full slate of games, but I'm gonna go Texas.
I can't.
I know you can't.
I can't. I just, in my heart of hearts, I can't do it. It's like I want to say it, and I'm like, no, can't do it. It won't come out of my mouth.
That game's gonna be exciting this year. You guys can't hide from each other forever.
Yeah, it'll be lit, as the little as the children say. We'll beat McNeese, and if we don't, I may cry because I'm gonna be there.
Georgia and Tennessee Tech.
That was so exciting.
Think we know that one. Let's see. Auburn is a 13.5-point favorite over Cal. That's interesting. I don't know. I don't believe Auburn's going to beat them by 13.5 points. I need to see Peyton Thorne actually do something. I know he had a good game last week against Alabama A&M, but this early, I don't know. I hate seeing stuff this early. I saw a tweet from PFF, and it was like, "These are our top 10 graded offensive linemen," and like half the list was Kansas players, and people are just like, "Wow, Lance Leipold really knows how to coach up some linemen," and it's like, my brother in Christ, they played Lindenwood University. Lindenwood University.
I don't even know where that is.
Me neither. I don't even know what that is. What the hell's a Lindenwood? But I feel like I mean, there is one fan base in particular that every single season buys the hype when they beat Ball State 70-0, and they're always like, "This is our year. We're back." I'm not going to say any names, but you and I know a couple of them pretty well, and much like Miami, they're 25-year reigning off-season champs. But I want to see these people actually go against not just P5 opponents, hell, just Division I opponents before
Right.
I think anything's actually changed. So Peyton Thorne still just seems super garbage to me, even though he lit up a terrible team.
A booty butt.
Yeah.
I said that like live and in person to my mom a couple days ago, and she goes, "I'm sorry, what?" And I was like, "I don't know, like he's booty butt." It's nice. It's nicer than saying he's ass, my dude.
I mean, that's what I say.
Ass, my dude.
Yeah.
Because, in the words of the great Tathan Martell,
Starkle's ass, my dude.
I'm going to A&M because I can start, because he's ass, my dude. And you're like, oh, okay. I mean, he did play at 3 different colleges, so.
He made it to the NFL, though. Tathan didn't.
It's true. Kyle Allen made it to the NFL, though, so.
Yeah, I pick and choose when I point out who makes it to the NFL for my narrative. It really just depends on what kind of point I'm trying to make. Because, like you said, Kyle Allen made it. Jeff Driscoll is still in the NFL. Jacoby Brissett's a starting quarterback in the NFL. Felipe Franks is a starting tight end in the NFL. I mean, a lot of people make it to the NFL that were just garbage in college. So I pick and choose when I use that. It has to benefit my narrative.
Fair. South Carolina at Kentucky.
So Kentucky's an 8.5-point favorite here. I think I I think Kentucky covers that. I don't think either one of these teams are particularly good this year. I think South Carolina is possibly the worst team in the SEC. It's really unfortunate we don't get to play them this year because Shane Beamer is Billy Napier's bitch, and this is his worst team by far. So would have been nice to put a beat down on them again, but I think Kentucky beats them by about 10. So I'll take Kentucky there.
Same. Also, we do play South Carolina. I had to remind myself. Our most hated rival.
Yeah, you're a huge rivalry.
I hate them. I really do. Because I totally care about South Carolina. They're just not good. Like, how do you almost lose to Old Dominion? How do you do that?
They got Virginia Tech a couple years ago.
But like, so did Vandy.
That's true.
Like, I don't understand. Of course, now that I can say, how did we lose to App State? So it's fine. But of course, losing to App State eventually got Jimbo fired, so I'm gonna take it.
It's like the domino meme, where it's like it starts off small and then it gets big, and then it's like losing to App State, and then it's like firing Jimbo at the end of the dominoes.
Firing Jimbo after a 30-point blowout of Mississippi State.
Sometimes you just got to pull the plug. I'm fully expecting Florida to fire Billy Napier following a win this year. Like, I actually think we're going to struggle to a win. It could even be this week against Samford, but I think we're going to struggle to a win and just look awful. I don't know what opponent it'll be, but I could see that happening because we have fired our last two coaches the season after they won the SEC East. So I think that I wouldn't be surprised if we did the same thing.
Just without the winning the SEC East part?
Yeah, except for that fun part. I think that we're just going to beat like Kentucky or some shitty team but we're going to beat, it's going to be like a 19-17 type game where we have, I don't know, 4 field goals and a touchdown, and then it's going to be like, yeah, we're done with this. Get out of here.
I'm done. No thanks. 0 out of 10. Would not recommend. Yeah. Kate literally said that she would take A&M beating Florida if it would get Billy Napier out of town.
Yeah, I think that I think Florida could win 4 to 6 games, and Billy Napier still won't even make it through to see. To me, the only way Napier has any shot at surviving this season is to go into Georgia on a 6-game winning streak at 6-1 and maybe look semi-competent in that game. Otherwise, we're going into the final 5 games of our season with Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss, LSU, and Florida State. So the Florida State game's looking a lot more winnable now than it did at the beginning of the season. But to me, that I'm just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop at this point after what I saw Saturday. I was a big time fan, big time supporter of William Napier, but can't watch my boys get shit on 3 years in a row and not lose my patience.
It's fair. Alabama and South Florida.
I'm kind of intrigued by this because, again, I'm going to keep making this all about Florida. Alex Golish is one of the more common names that gets bandied about. I mean, he's definitely not number 1, probably not even a top 5 choice. But, him being right there in Tampa, exciting, fun offense, young coach. There's plenty of folks who are looking at him and maybe taking the Florida job or being offered, depending on how things go. But I'll be interested to see how his offense handles a team like Bama, because they can, when you try and spread them out, they kind of have the horses to just man up and play you one-on-one and just kind of shut that down. So Pretty excited to watch that game. I think USF covers this game, but I think Bama wins by like 3 touchdowns. The spread's 31, so I think they could win by like 21, but still not cover.
I mean, obviously, I think Bama's going to win. Like, I'd be shocked if they blew this game. Like, just shocked.
Oh yeah, if Bama actually lost this game, that would be insane. But I mean, you remember last year, what was it, like 10-10 going into halftime or something
Oh, yeah.
with USF? So, they hung with them. I think Bama was still figuring some stuff out last year. They had Tommy Reese in there playing quarterback, and no, he was the OC. Who was the guy that transferred from Notre Dame with Tommy Reese?
Oh, God. What was his name?
And then he went back to Notre Dame to play lacrosse because he was a terrible quarterback.
Because he's fucking terrible. I don't know. I don't remember his name.
Me neither. I purge all that stuff.
And I don't think it's like if you've seen Inside Out, whenever they're like sending the memories back,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah.
the bank, you're like, nope, this one's not important. This one's not important. But triple dent gum is. So
Everybody has their own little tidbits that's important to them. But yeah, remembering Alabama's backup quarterback from last year that played in like one game is one of those things that got purged.
let's see, Missouri and Buffalo. Why? Just why?
Man, I'm going to go Buffalo to cover the 34.5 points, but Mizzou wins.
Mizzou is supposed to be really good this year, so we'll see if that's true. But aren't they like number 7 or something right now?
Number 9.
There you go.
Close enough.
Yeah. So we got Missouri there. I hope you beat Samford, because if you don't, you may not ever come on this show again.
Yeah, I may not want to if we lose to Samford.
You're like, I'm done. It'll just be me sitting here crying about how A&M is not fun. Like, nope, just me. Vanderbilt should win.
It would be so on brand for Vandy to go out and have like this really impressive win over Virginia Tech and then come out the next game and lose to an HBCU.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I am very sleepy today. Yeah. I didn't realize how Alcorn State was an HBCU. Good to know.
That's where Steve McNair went to college.
Well, there you go. You learn something new every day. LSU and Nichols State. We've played them. They're not good.
Nah. I'll take LSU here. Nichols get their check. They don't have to go very far. I think they're pretty close to Baton Rouge. So
Where they are.
All in all, win for everybody involved.
It's like us playing Prairie View, because Prairie View is like maybe an hour and a half away. So I'm like, we get the win and get to watch their band. They get a check. It's a great day for everybody.
Everybody benefits.
I need, and as she follows me on Twitter, I need the lady that narrates the band of Prairie View A&M to follow me around and narrate my life.
She narrates the band?
Yes.
How does that work?
She she's basically the band's hype woman.
Oh, gotcha.
So she's like, the marching storm is doing blah blah blah, this and that. And it's magical. Her name is TT on the mic. So there you go.
TT on the mic. Okay.
Everything's weirder in Texas. Let's see. Tennessee and NC State.
I'm pretty intrigued by this. When I was watching NC State, I mean, they let Western Carolina hang with them for a while. And Western Carolina is an okay FCS team, but I don't know. They're Tennessee's a 10-point favorite here.
That's it?
Yeah, it's in Charlotte. I don't know. I'm going Wolfpack.
That would be fun for us.
Oh!
It would be fun for us, not for Dren or Brandon. See, Oklahoma and Houston.
Man,
Houston is ass.
yeah, I'm going Oklahoma here. They're 28-point favorites. I think they cover it. I think they just beat the dog shit out of Houston. Honestly, Houston looked bad.
Not as bad as what was it, Texas Tech that almost lost to Abilene Christian?
Yeah,
I was like, bro, no. And the thing is, they tweeted it like it was a badge of honor that they won in overtime. And I'm like, to Abilene Christian?
just hold that one in.
Like, just tweet the final score and call it a day. Like, you don't have to put, we win in overtime in all capital letters or whatever. Like, it's just not necessary. And then we got Mississippi State and Arizona State at 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern at night. Which
So ASU
after dark.
ASU is a 5.5-point favorite here, but I'm going to take the Fighting Jeff Lebbies in the upset.
Where's your cowbell?
So if Sydney were here, she may even know who I'm talking about. But on my local ESPN radio station, there is she used to be like the co-host, and she calls herself the coach's daughter. And she's a big Mississippi State fan, and so she has a cowbell, and she'll just like ring it on the radio, right? And it's like, yeah, she's allowed like to do it once before the producer will be like, no, you got your one in, you can't keep doing this. I'm not looking forward to going to Starkville and playing with all those stupid cowbells, but I think that Arizona State's pretty bad. I think Mississippi State's pretty bad, but I think Mississippi State's just a little bit better, and I think Jeff Lebby's going to be able to scheme up an offense to get some points.
What I think is interesting is that we are all like the SEC is the best conference, the SEC is the best conference, and then we sit here and go, well, this team is ass, and this team is ass. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, we're ass, but we're less ass than you.
That's what really matters.
It's true. I just thought it was interesting. Like, it's fine. Only we can call them bad. Like, you can't, other teams can't, other conferences can't make fun of our really bad teams. That's our job.
Exactly. Yeah, no. We'll see how Texas and Oklahoma handle it. I think Texas is pretty good, but I think Oklahoma is going to trip up playing some of the teams in the SEC.
See, and I love our Texas fan dearly. But she literally said, I was told Texas wasn't SEC ready. And I said, honey, you beat Colorado State.
Like, again, they those week 1 games, they play some random team and blow them out, and then they're back, and then the next week they have to play an actual team, and then it's like, wow, what happened?
Like, I don't understand. What happened? I thought we were back. What was it? Sam Ellinger. We're back.
We're back.
And you're like, no. He is also the one that says that he takes personally everybody that does horns down.
Good.
So every time the Texas fans tell you that they don't care, we're like, Sam does. Sam cares. So don't tell me you don't.
Yeah, our former players, some of them had been maybe a little vocal or critical or expressed their frustration or whatever. After Saturday, it was like a deluge. Like, pretty much every former player, like, on social media came out and was just like, yeah, fix this shit. Which once that happens, you're kind of in trouble.
Yeah. I love that your little tagline still says Burt's for Heisman, even though he's, very broken.
And with a picture of DJ Lagway, yeah, it's just how I do it.
He's like, one of you is going to do something.
Somebody has to do something, right? Like
Me, you, the boosters, someone.
something has to happen.
All right, my friend. So this was a short episode because, nothing exciting happened really last week. But I think that next week, when we're back on schedule, because Shelby does not have a baseball game to go to, which now I'm very tired because I went to the baseball game and then I stayed up and set up my new phone. And now I'm tired. So
I feel you. And next week we'll get to talk about the Florida A&M game.
woo, party time.
Woo-hoo!
We're either both going to be really excited or really, really depressed.
I don't think I'm gonna be either, honestly. Like I said, I'm kind of just numb. We could beat Samford by 100 points, and unless DJ Lagway, has like 500 yards throwing and 200 yards rushing, it's Samford, right?
Exactly.
I can't be a hypocrite, right? I can't make fun of all the teams getting pumped up over their week 1 performances against Lindenwood and then get pumped up because we blow Samford out, right?
Exactly. I'm taking boyfriend to this one because I was like, look, we shouldn't lose, and I don't want you to see me when we lose in person.
Yeah, I mean that's probably for the best.
He already got to see me very angry after the Notre Dame game. And he was like, I'm sorry, your team. I said, no. We don't talk about it. We're done. It's over. Like, stop. I felt so bad. I snapped.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there too. My like I said, my wife has a love-hate relationship with college football season because I'm normally a pretty stoic, quiet individual, and so movies and TV shows, like you can almost guarantee I will cry at some point during a movie or a TV show. I'm the biggest baby you've ever seen in your life. But then Florida Gator sports those are like the two things that elicit emotional reactions for me. And during football season, my wife is like, either the whole weekend's going to be fun and you're going to be happy because the team won, or you're going to be depressed. And I'm like, that's the good thing about being shitty is that you don't swing too far one way or the other. You just get, like you were last year with Jimbo. You're kind of just like, okay, we win, we lose, whatever.
I don't care.
I don't see this going anywhere. It's like, okay, this was okay for now, but this isn't going to work. We're not going to win a title. This isn't going to go anywhere.
On that note,
we can go somewhere though. We can go
to
take
bed.
a nap.
I go to bed. 7:11 p.m. I shared it on Facebook because it was like, dear old people, I'm sorry I made fun of you for going to bed at 9 p.m. And I was like, try 7:30.
I actually got to do my first fantasy football draft yesterday, my third league that I'm in, because my first draft, it was set for 9:15 p.m. Central Time. And I'm normally a pretty nocturnal person, but I was just super duper tired and I just went to sleep at like 8:30. And then I woke up to a message from the commissioner and he was just like, you missed our draft. And then I did another league and totally forgot about the draft, just auto drafted. So with that being, I'm probably going to win 3 fantasy football titles this year because I didn't actually draft the players. I just let the computer do it.
Well, there you go.
There we go.
Good luck with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
We will see y'all next Wednesday, 7:30. And it'll be on the YouTubes because I'm not paying Twitter for anything. So
Bye, friends. Down with Elon Musk.